Wait for the recording. Yeah, it's just Vincent is not available for all of those that normally come onto the Zoom. He's out in the Caribbean somewhere with Brent Gove and a whole bunch of hot shots in the States. So Bill has asked me just to try and get a video of Dr. Stasi whereby she explains the science and the technology behind LifeWave. And then from there, she goes into her own Q&A. But if anybody wants us to stop up until the science and technology, then just show your hand, we'll stop and we'll do our own testimonials from the South African's point of view. But she is quite informative for those that all want to run it as a business, and you learn quite a lot from her. So I'll start the video there.
Thanks, Yanni. And can you do a full screen image as well? That'll also be good.
Yeah, this Zoom was last week.
Okay.
Hi, happy Tuesday. Dr. Stasi here. I'm so excited you guys decided to join us tonight. We are going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to share some great information with you all. And then, of course, you're going to start asking your questions. So before we get started, I want to make sure that you know who I am if you're a guest tonight, if you've never been on here before. So thank the person that invited you, because you're going to hear a lot of great information about this technology, what it is, how it works, how it can help you. And of course, people are going to be asking questions live. So who knows what kind of information I'm going to be sharing. But I wanted to give you my background real quickly. So I am a doctor of integrative medicine, and I'm also a doctor of functional medicine. So I am not a medical doctor. Any of the information that I share here tonight with you is just that. It's information. If you have any questions, of course, please see your healthcare provider, practitioner, whoever you see in regards to your health. Any of the information that I'm sharing is, of course, not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose anything that is going on with you. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get started and share the science and tech with you so we can get right to the Q&A. I will be doing a Q&A. You can ask questions in the chat. I have the chat up, but if you can just hang tight for a second until I go over the Q&A, so then that way questions don't get lost in there, and then I'll open it up here in just maybe like 15 minutes. But I like to always go over the frequently asked questions, so then that way we make sure we've got those taken care of. So tonight we are talking about LifeWave technology. The inventor of this technology that I'm going to be sharing with you, looks like this little round Band-Aid, his name is David Schmidt. And you can go to startx39now.com and you can see all kinds of videos with David in them, other doctors, professionals, people sharing their testimonials. You can also see all the clinical studies that I'm going to be referencing tonight, as well as the patents. David himself holds over 130 patents, the majority of those in regenerative medicine. And so he's an inventor. He's a scientist. He's a researcher. I call him a lab rat. He loves to live in the lab, and he loves to invent things that help people improve their quality of life. And so I want to kind of just give you a little bit of background on how this came to be, because you're probably thinking, I've never heard of this before. I don't, why have I never heard of it if it's that great, right? I get that a lot. And so you guys, David was working for the Navy SEALs 20 years ago. He was asked by the U.S. Department of Defense, he was contracted by them to help with their many submissions and oxygenation and whatnot. So during that time working with them, they asked him, since he was doing such a great job on their oxygenation type things, if he could contribute to a problem the SEALs had, and that was they were on too many caffeine, amphetamines, and uppers. And their quality of life was going downhill. You know, SEALs have to be up for days and weeks on end in mission. And so he was asked to contribute to that. And what he did was he invented a patch. It's actually a 2-patch system, so I'm going to pull it out here real quick, called Energy Enhancer. Energy Enhancer was invented 20 years ago for the Navy SEALs. David downloaded by the divine, God, source, whatever you want to call that. He downloaded the idea to create a non-transdermal patch that turns body fat into fuel. It's actually a 2-patch system. You can see there's a white patch and a tan patch. It's like our ice wave in that system. But this patch turns body fat into fuel. It also helps turn your lymphatic system, so it's really good for your body. But it helps you with endurance and stamina and energy throughout the day. Well, it was working so well for the SEALs, they were able to start eliminating some of those toxic things they were using and use the energy enhancer patch. Well, then, of course, many of you know here in the United States, 9/11 happened. Our country took a different turn to protect our country and bear more arms. So the Department of Defense no longer was contracted to work on the mini submission. So David started doing clinical studies with the U.S. Stanford swim team. He was friends with the coach, and of course, then on to the USA Olympic swim team. That is how this company got started. 2 years of clinical studies and showing what this patch does. He thought, you know what, I've got ideas for other patches. There are other things that I can do to help people improve their quality of life. I'm going to start my own company, and he named it LifeWave. So that's the beginning of this company. Now, over the last 20 years, David has invented a dozen patches. Now, I'm not going to go in depth with every single patch tonight. Don't worry, we're only on here for an hour. But I have shared just about everything I've heard him say over the last, I don't know, maybe 9-10 months we've been doing these Zooms like this every single Tuesday night. You can go to my YouTube channel. It's DrStaci, Dr. Stasi, and you can see all the past recordings that I have done. But over the 20 years, David has invented a dozen patches. It took him 10 years in the lab to figure out how to signal the body to activate, elevate, and mobilize its own stem cells. And so tonight I'm going to focus on this patch first initially, because this is the workhorse of the line. This patch has been out almost 4 years now. We do have a 20-year patent on this patch, and we're just in year 3 of that 20-year patent. You can find that patent on startx39now.com. But this patch here signals your body to activate, elevate, and mobilize its own stem cells. So that sounds kind of crazy. Not to mention the fact that it resets a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state the second you put it on. Can you believe that? Resetting your own genes, a third of your genes back to their young, youthful, healthy state. How is this possible? Remember I said this is non-transdermal? So I'm sure you're familiar with transdermal patches. Those are things like nicotine patches, birth control, estrogen, pain patches. You put a patch on your body where something's going on and it causes something to happen. You put a chemical or a substance into the body. That is not how this patch works. This technology is not like that at all. There's no nutrient, there's no chemical, there's no substance, there's no vitamin, there's no homeopathic remedy, there's none of that on here. Nothing is going into the body. So what that means is there are no contraindications. There are no interactions with what you're currently using, whether it's a medicine or a supplement or something nutritional. This can only benefit you and help you in what you're currently doing, and maybe even possibly replace some of the things. Because again, it's working inside of your body with your body's own light. And that's what I'm going to explain to you now. So this is how it works. You see that white part? Embedded in that white part, see the back here sticky? Embedded in that white part is a crystal lattice structure. Okay, it's a structure, it's a solution of molecules that come together to form these nanocrystals. So this structure that's embedded in here is what David invented. It's a proprietary, meaning he invented it, he knows it, blend of organic amino acids, sugars, oxygen, and water. That lattice is what's in here, and it works with our body's light or heat. If you put your hand on your chest right now, you should be around 98.6, right? How do I know that? Well, because most all humans are, okay? We're around 98.6. If you're 97, that's perfectly fine. But we emit heat or a low-level infrared light, and we know that because here where I live on the East Coast, it's dark outside. So if I went outside right now, I couldn't see my neighbor across the street or the horses or cows in the pastures down the road unless I was looking through night vision goggles. When you look through night vision goggles, you see the outline of the person in color, red, blue, green, yellow, orange, whatnot. That's the heat that our body is emitting. That is what this patch works with, okay? It's called photobiomodulation. So not an outside light source like a red light therapy, laser therapy, blue light therapy, things like that. But we are the light source. We are the ones that are emitting that light. And so when you put the patch on, our body's light reflects back a specific wavelength of light from that lattice structure that's embedded in the patch. That wavelength of light is what elevates, activates, and mobilizes our own stem cells. One of those genes that's reset is P63. And so that's responsible for mobilizing our stem cells, resetting that third of the genes. Remember, back to their young, youthful state. So what does that mean for you? That may sound like a lot, right? Here's what I want you to know. The basics is when you get up in the morning, stick the patch on, leave it on 12 hours, go about your day, stay hydrated, at least half your body weight in ounces every single day of water if you want to feel good and have faster results and really reap the benefits of this technology. You've got to stay hydrated. So half your body weight in ounces of water during the day, take your patch off after 12 hours and throw it away, or put it in your pet bed. Put it on your pet. This weekend I was in San Diego working an event, and the lady comes up with her service dog and she said, can I put a pet on him? And we just put it right underneath his collar, stuck it right there on his fur, and he just looked up there and looked at us and he was like, went back to sleep, like no big deal. So working on ourselves, and then of course you can take it off and it can work on your pet as well too. Dogs, cats, chickens, cows, horses, you name it. So anyways, when you wear this patch during the day, because X39 is daytime only, it's going to mobilize those stem cells. You take the patch off, your body's going to go to work to repair and regenerate itself. Here's the thing. I don't know what is going to happen for you. Everyone wants to know, here's my problems, right? Here's my list of problems, my what I call grocery list of issues. When are these things going to be fixed? I don't know, but here's what I can tell you. Our clinical studies show that people start to see results around 3 to 6 weeks. If you experienced something before, that's fantastic. But I don't want to say that that's normal because I have to go by clinical studies. And so what do people typically experience first? We know they experience reduction in pain, a deeper sleep, more REM sleep. We can see a mental clarity, concentration, focus, energy, physical energy. We can see faster recovery from exercise and daily activity, as well as faster wound healing. That's kind of common in the beginning, but then we really start to see improvements in the digestive system, the nervous system, the immune system, and one of my favorite studies is the cardiovascular system. We only have one vascular system, right? We only have one heart. And so we want to keep that heart young and healthy and youthful. We know that the number one killer is heart disease. That's just a fact. And so how can I keep my heart, my vascular system young? We can see from studies every 6 weeks using this patch, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 weeks, but every 6 weeks using this patch, we can see that our vascular system is functioning as if it were 8 weeks younger. There's a huge compound effect when you use this patch. And what I mean by that is, think about your heart. Every 6 weeks that goes by, it's going to go by no matter what. Is your heart going to get older, or is it going to function as if it were younger? Older or younger? Every 6 weeks on this, you're going to reverse that functionality of your vascular system. I interviewed a doctor last year, and it was amazing. He had a heart attack at age 45, and he was a pharmacist. His whole family was pharmacists. He was on like 5 prescription medications. You can look it up in the Telegram channel. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but it's in there. I can find it, and so can, I'm sure, the people that invited you here. But he used all these medications. Nothing would help improve the age that his heart was functioning at. He was 45. His heart was functioning as if he was 75. So I come to meet him, and he's 65 years old. He had tried everything holistic. He got off all the medications. He went down all the holistic path, still wasn't able to get his heart to function any younger than a 75-year-old man. And at this time, he's 65. And so he started using the X39. 1 year. Now, of course, I said he's 65, right? 1 year, and his heart was functioning as if he were in his early 30s. That's what I mean by compound effect. So he had a 75-year-old heart functioning as if, and after a year of this, the repair and regeneration that took place, his heart was functioning as if he was in his early 30s. So let me ask you this. Does that mean if he stopped patching, his heart would go back to the 75-year-old again? No. Regeneration, if you understand regenerative medicine, when things are repaired and regenerated, they are fixed. Okay, and so that means they are functioning, they are working, they have repaired to be at that state. If you were to stop patching, you don't immediately lose all the progress you made over those months or years that you were using the patch. So understand that regenerative medicine, this is not transdermal. So this is not putting something in your body, and when you stop using it, then you don't get the benefits. The benefits have been gained over that time that you're wearing it. If you did decide to stop, then of course those benefits are yours. Your body has regenerated, it's repaired itself, right? And so that's the beautiful thing about this technology, getting to the root cause of the issues and repairing the body, regenerating the cells and tissues and organs. And again, how do we know this? Clinical studies. We have done almost 90 clinical studies now, and you can find them all on startx39now.com. All of the studies are there, so you can see them, you can read through them. There's so much great information out there on how this technology is helping people improve their quality of life. So how long do you need to wear the patch? Well, it's based on your age. To get yourself up to full stem cell regeneration, it's 1 month for every 10 years you are old. So if you're in your 50s, you're going to wear it 5 months. If you're in your 60s, 6 months. If you're in your 70s, 7 months, right? Why? Well, because when you're young, you have an abundance of stem cells, right? Kids have boundless amounts of energy. They drop at the hat and sleep in the middle of a crowded room like it's nothing. They fall off their bike, break their arm, and they get up and they take off running again, right? They're just go, go, go nonstop. That's because they have an unlimited amount of stem cells in their body. As we age, our body has less and less stem cells that are active. By the time you're in your 30s, you have about half the stem cells active in your body. The rest are dormant, doing nothing. That's why you start to see the crow's feet and the issues with sleeping, or you walk in the room and you're like, what did I walk in here for? Right? You start to get those aches and pains when you get out of bed in the morning. And that's because your body's ability to repair itself is diminished some. Well, by the time you're in your 60s, you have less than 10% of those stem cells in your body active. So your body's ability to repair itself is barely even there. If you're in your 70s, there are no active stem cells. We can see this in blood work, right? And so when you start using this patch, it starts activating your own stem cells, mobilizing your stem cells, and resetting, like I said, a third of those genes back to their young, youthful state. Your stem cells are pluripotent. They have the ability to turn into any cell, tissue, or organ that your body needs. Your body knows how to heal itself. When you cut your finger or break your bone, it's not the Band-Aid or the cast that does the repairing. It's the body's stem cells. They go to work to repair and regenerate. And I'm sure you've seen people as they age, their body just doesn't heal as fast because they don't have those stem cells active in their body. And so this says, hey, let's go. Let's do what we did when you were younger. Let's get your body repairing. Let's reset these genes, and let's get you back to your young, youthful state. Now, not 5 years old, right? But about 25. David says the technology, this allows us to get back to age 25 on the insides, our cellular age. Now, we're hoping the outsides catch up. Most of us look much younger than our actual age, and that's a beautiful perk, right? But really what that means is the inside is young, because your outside is a direct reflection of what's happening on the inside. And so using this day after day, week after week, month after month, even year after year, I'm a year and a half into using this now. Why am I still patching? I'm 48 years old, but my cellular age says I'm 25. I'm going to stay 25 forever. That sounds fantastic to me. Sign me up for that. I'm all about prevention. I always have been. I'm all about vitality and longevity. I didn't have anything wrong with me before I started using this technology. I initially wanted it for my daughter, of course, which we saw massive, massive improvements in her in the year that we used this patch on her, and a couple others as well too. But this for me is instead of stem cell injections. I've always wanted stem cell injections for vitality, prevention, and longevity. But at $25,000 a pop, I wasn't willing to spend that. Instead, I spent that on her many times. But for me, this is simple, easy, effective, affordable. I stick it on. It's the price of a cup of coffee a day. I go about my day, stay hydrated, and take it off. And I'm literally repairing my body, regenerating my body, and keeping my body young and youthful and vital and healthy. For those of you that have grocery lists of issues, as the days and weeks and months go on, you can start crossing those things off of your list. I can't tell you what order your body is going to repair itself, though. I have no idea. Like I said, your body knows how to repair itself. It has its own innate ability to do that. Your stem cells are going to go to the areas you need most to survive. You may say, well, oh, my back hurts. Great. I'll tell you what's in our pain protocol. You can very simply use X39, Eon, and Ice Wave. Ice Wave's going to get rid of pain on the spot. We can use these patches right here to help you reduce your inflammation and to get rid of that pain. But I can't tell you X39 is going to get rid of your pain on the spot. Sometimes for people it does, just from the increase of the GHKCU, the copper peptide that's increased, but I don't know that. But I do know when you put this on, because I patched probably, I don't know, a couple hundred people this weekend that were in pain. They were sitting 8-10 hours a day in a workshop. And so they were in pain. Their backs were hurting. Their shoulders were hurting. Their neck was hurting. So we were patching people left and right. And Ice Wave got rid of their pain on the spot. So X39, and of course, I'm going to talk to you about Eon real quickly next. These are going to get to the root of the problem. And then, of course, different supportive patches support different systems in your body. So with that being said, I know we've got questions popping in. And so the Eon is a patch that reduces inflammation. I want you to understand this. Inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. We know that. Every doctor will tell you, you have inflammation. That's the root of your problem. What is your option? Anti-inflammatory drugs? I'm not really for sure. But Eon is a patch that signals a different peptide. It signals a peptide in your liver to reduce the inflammatory markers in your body. And so those inflammatory markers like the homocysteines and C-reactive proteins and cytokines and lipids and fibrinogen, those, when you reduce the inflammation in the body, then you increase at the same time your body's own stem cell production, right? This is what we call the dynamic duo. And for those of you out there that have accounts right now with LifeWave, this is our promo this week. You can get both of these for only $135 wholesale price. That is amazing. Normally it would be $169.95. So if you haven't seen that promo yet, go into your back office, click on promotions, and it's right there. You can order up to 5 sets of these. If you're not for sure how to do that, then get with the person that invited you or the person that set you up, and they can help you with that as well too. And that's the wholesale price for brand partners. So if you don't have that account, they can help you get set up with that so you can take advantage of this promotion as well. But this here is what I want you to understand, that if you had a stem cell injection, say you had pain in your shoulder and you went to spend that $25,000 for a stem cell injection, then your stem cells are going to go to the area that's inflamed. That's what's causing the pain, the lack of range of motion, things like that. Well, what happens is, say you inject 2 million stem cells in your body. Your body's going to consume the majority of those stem cells. That inflammation is. You may be left with only 200,000. Do you want 2 million stem cells or do you want 200,000? I would take 2 million, right? And so that's what an injection is. We've done over 10 years of that type of therapy, to different types of stem cell therapy with my daughter. Never did we have the results with that we have with these two right here. So when you reduce inflammation at the same time you're increasing stem cell production, you set the body up for more rapid, dramatic repair and regeneration process. So let's get to the root of the problem at the same time we're helping the body repair and regenerate. So those are the 2 main patches I want to talk to you about. I know you're going to have questions, so I want to go ahead and address those. Somebody asked about herbal tea. As long as it's decaffeinated and that's not your whole day, like we need real, fresh, clean water. Soak it in mint or lemon and lime or strawberries or pineapples or something overnight if you don't like the flavor, but make sure you're getting just some pure, clean, healthy water. But yes, you can have herbal tea. If you have any kind of caffeine, then caffeine, of course, dehydrates you. And we know as you age, your cells are more dehydrated anyways. You're going to need to compensate. So every cup of coffee, you're going to need to drink an additional glass of water on top of what you should be drinking every day, which is half your body weight in ounces. And I stress this because when people tell me, oh, I had a headache, or oh, I just kind of felt fatigued, that's because you're dehydrated. This technology works with your light. Your cells are light. We know that, trillions of cells of light. The cells need water for the conductivity of this technology. So make sure you stay hydrated to feel amazing. So somebody said X39 and 49 both activate stem cells. It's been discussed the type of amount of stem cells versus the other. So here's the thing. this is the way this works. And April and I were talking about 39 and 49 earlier. X39 signals a peptide called GHKCU copper peptide. That peptide is the one responsible for resetting a third of your genes. One of those genes is P63 that mobilizes your stem cell, okay? Mobilizes your stem cells, activates them, elevates them, right? That's what this is responsible for. This patch, which David just came out with last year, is different. It signals a daughter peptide, which is AHKCU. That daughter peptide was, David invented it for this specific reason initially, was invented, this, not the peptide, but this patch, was invented to signal AHKCU to help build lean muscle mass in the body, okay? And what happened, David found through clinical studies with people, we'll just start with the first 60 days. Of course, we've had studies going on now for over a year, but for the first 60 days, he saw the benefits of using this patch by itself, this patch by itself, and what happened when you combine them, because they are mother-daughter peptides. They worked synergistically, even more powerful. So he was measuring things like grip strength and bicep curls and, push-ups and crunches and squats, looking at the core and the muscles. He was looking at endurance and pulse rate. Well, what he found was not only did it help to your heart, as in lowering blood pressure, systolic and diastolic, it helped the brain. It also stopped bone loss and improved bone density in your body, systemically, all over the body. So these are different, okay? This one is resetting the genes. One of the genes is P63. This is designed to signal AHKCU, which helps to build lean muscle mass, reduce body fat. We saw 11% drop in body fat in 60 days, stop bone loss, and increase bone density. That's what our studies are showing. A year out, it's dramatic. And you can go to our startx39now.com and see these studies and what these two do together synergistically. It's very, very powerful, but not at all. They're not the same patch doing the same thing, okay? So, let's see. Is it prudent to use carnosine and glutathione when first starting the patches for quicker healing? I've been using the patches for 3 weeks and stopped having pain the second day, chronic back pain. That's fantastic. So, that's a personal choice. Glutathione to me is vitally important. This is the master antioxidant, master detoxer, and master immune system booster. We know how important the immune system is nowadays, right? And most people have immune system issues. Most people know what glutathione is. Glutathione is commonly used at the end of an IV drip as a push to help increase your glutathione in your body. Obviously, it's an exogenous source. You're going to have an increase of about 20 to 23%. It has a 7-minute half-life. Sometimes people do suppositories. Sometimes they do supplements of glutathione. Again, about a 7-minute half-life, about a 20, 23% increase. This is a patch that signals a peptide in your liver to elevate your own glutathione. Big difference. This elevates your glutathione by 300 to 400%. That glutathione is sustained for a 24-hour period. When you take off the patch, the glutathione patch 12 hours later, the patented technology that's in this has a time stamped kind of release. I don't want to say release, but basically it allows your body to keep that elevation of glutathione for a 24-hour period. Big difference when you look at removing toxins from the body, boosting the immune system, coating the joints. This is a fantastic patch when you look at the areas in between all of our joints in our body to help things stay fluid and moving, right? So glutathione, I think, is vitally important to everyone's health on this planet. We know the oldest people on the planet that live in the 5 blue zones have the highest level of glutathione in their body. And they're not using a glutathione patch, so it's not that, but they are doing certain things. And if you Google blue zones, you'll be able to see what they're doing, but they're doing certain things to keep their body young and youthful, which is why they're over 120 years old. The carnosine patch is a very different patch. It's an antioxidant. Your body makes it, right? Just like glutathione, it declines as you age. And so increasing your own carnosine, I'm going to tell you what, this patch does a lot, okay? So anything in the brain, balancing left brain, right brain hemisphere, improving cognition, communication. Just Google carnosine, right? Carnosine as a nutrient is going to detox aluminum from your brain. I don't know about you, but you've probably used deodorant your whole life, which is full of aluminum. I'm sure you've cooked in aluminum pans, or you've eaten in restaurants where they cook in aluminum pots and pans. And I'm sure you have used aluminum foil, not to mention the many other ways, aluminum cans, beer, Coke, things like that, that you're getting aluminum in your body, which is an extreme toxin. And so carnosine as a nutrient, we know helps do that. It also helps clear clogged arteries, which is fantastic. So you can do your research out there. Just Google, information on carnosine. There's tons, years and years of clinical studies. But our patch is going to elevate your own carnosine level. So that means it's going to help your brain. It's going to help your heart. It's going to help your muscles. It's great for building lean muscle mass too, but different than X49, right? We're signaling different peptides in the body. But another beautiful thing about carnosine, it's really important for your organs, especially the pancreas. If you know anybody that has blood sugar issues, this helps with the glycation process to keep your blood sugar nice and perfect.
Yannick, can you unmute?
Sorry about that, guys. As I said, she goes into far more detail onto that, but I'll stop sharing and hand over to Bull, and we'll continue from there.
Okay, thanks, Yanni. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Guys, are there any questions from anybody? First of all, I didn't do this earlier. I just want to thank all of you for joining in tonight. And please get back to the person that invited you. But are there any questions on that little video that you saw before we move on to testimonials? So those of you that have been using the patches for a while, for the last few months, please, I'd love to hear some testimonials, your own personal testimonials, or anybody that you've shared the patches with.
Okay, Bill, I have a question on a few bodily issues, if I may.
Okay, sure.
Okay, and I'm just thinking of the people that I would help and all the issues they have, and I see she showed a few different patches.
Yes.
So I just want to know about heart issues, and if that's all conditions like the myocarditis and the enlarged hearts, diabetes, and especially juvenile diabetes. And I have somebody who has issues with the white blood cells, and currently has a clot in the brain and is having extensive treatment. He's on very, very strong medication. And then the other one is underactive thyroid, high blood pressure, cancers, high cholesterol, strokes. She covered inflammation, arthritis, memory loss, poor eyesight, and weight loss. Does this address all of these as well? Do you have to have separate patches for each one of these, or?
No. So basically, look, I'm not a doctor or anything, so we're not allowed to make any claims about this fixing anything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But have you got a medical dictionary there that you're reading out of? No, I'm just kidding. Okay. But no, what you can do is with everything that you mentioned there is they've got it on Zooms. Who invited you, you know?
Debbie
Okay,
Fox.
great. Okay, great. Then there's a Telegram group with about 6,200 people on it. And there's doctors and surgeons and scientists and just regular people that have been using the patches. So anything that you have, like one of those conditions that you read out, you can put that in the Telegram group, do a search, and it'll bring up what Zoom they had on that. So maybe a 2 or 3 minute testimonial on that, and to tell you what patches they used. But in most cases, the X39, which is the holy grail or the Rolls Royce of the whole lot, that does 95% of everything, whether it's whatever it is, that sorts it out. So X39 is the main one, and then if there's something specific, you can use another one in conjunction with that. Okay, but best to check it out on the Telegram group.
Okay. Thank
Okay. Thank you, Vina.
you. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to ask, who can we start with here? I think, can we start with Yanni today? With any testimonials that you got, Yanni? Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Yanni. Just any testimonials, and then we'll move on to Caro, Lydia, or whoever wants to come in. And okay, go for it, Yanni.
Yeah, it's my 4th month now on it, and obviously been testing it on a lot on myself, including my family. If I can start with my missus, is that she had her hormones were imbalanced, and obviously being on tablets and that. But we've come to a point now where she's off the medication completely. She used to have those hot flushes and stuff. That's all gone. And that's only after 2 months of her using only X39 and Eon. Okay. What it's helped her as well, and including myself, is our sleep. You definitely sleep like a baby. Once that first week is when your hormones are still trying to get into balance in it, you still have your issues, but after that, whether you sleep 6 hours or you sleep 4 hours or you sleep 8 hours, you wake up energized. My daughter suffers from anxiety. She's now 38. Okay, and I've got her now, and she trains quite a lot. She's a bit of a gym bunny, and I've got her on X49 and X39, and she's calmed down like you cannot believe. She's come to a point now where her health now has taken over, whereby she doesn't party no more. So I said to her, she's getting boring now. But her anxiety levels have dropped immensely. Far more patience with the kids, far more patience with work. Don't go and get the better of her. I actually asked her to be on the Zoom tonight, but she couldn't make it. I'm trying to think, Elandry. She had a wedding 2 weeks ago, and I think I did share this. And with the makeup on the wedding day on the Saturday, the Sunday she broke out in an allergy. Her face, well, I've actually got photographs. I'll share it on our group, where her face is all swollen and that. I put an X39 on her, and within 2 hours, the swelling started reducing. Within 1 day, all her inflammation and that on her face was just about gone. Her eyes were just about closed. In 1 day, that was all open and done and dusted. Tony, another friend of mine, he's got severe reflux and a leaking gut in it. Just on X39, within a month, no more reflux. That sorted that out. Personally, on my side, I playing professional sport for many years, football, and I played fairly competitive up until about the age of 41, and then I played social and that, and then I still played. I only stopped at the age of 55, and I'm 62 now, so it's 7 years I've been inactive, and I've just started going back to gym. But in the meantime, I had 3 hairline cracks on my ankle. But because of the years of trying to always play, you go for cortisone injections and painkillers and that. Just with the X39, and I've just got on X49 now as well, that has sorted my ankle out. I'm starting to run. I did 2 weeks ago, I did my second 21K running, and I'm now starting to do bicycle in that as well. So just your general health. It's difficult to explain unless you know your own body and you can feel. But yeah, sleep fantastic. Endurance of absolute note. I'll go through a day now without feeling tired or anything, but I definitely do sleep well. That's in brief on my side, Bill. It helps to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Thanks, Lenny. Okay. Right. Thank you very much. And then just the one with your scar from the...
Oh, yes. When I was in the military back in 79, 80, we hit a contact, and obviously I was shot in the arm. The shrapnel of a tree fell into my arm, and I don't think you're going to see much now. But I had a big hole in my arm here, and I had just on 47 stitches. And obviously being Rambo, before it healed, we entered into a boxing competition, and obviously with the force of the punch, I split it open. And the doctor said to me, there's no way that that scar tissue will ever repair itself. So I had like a hole. I did not take the X39 for that, but at wound healing, within a month, you can hardly see the scar. I didn't realize that I got out to shower, and my missus turned, she says, what's wrong with your arm? I said, why? She says, I can't see your scar no more. And that scar's been with me since, as I said, 1980. Okay, so it's a good, 43 years ago. And within 1 month, it's basically healed that scar tissue and the tissues around it. So you can hardly see the scar now.
Thank you, Yanni. Thank you very much. Okay, right. Yeah. How's it?
Really?
Yeah, Debbie.
Sorry.
I gave 5 patches to a lady. I think she's about 84. When I first saw her, well, I know her fairly well, and I saw her she was on a walking stick, and her knee was too painful. She couldn't get up easily, so I gave her 5, and then I saw her about 3, 4, about a month later, 2 month and a half later, no walking stick.
Wow.
And she hasn't put any more patches on either. She can't afford it at the moment, but she will be able to. But just those 5 sorted out her knee.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Debbie. Okay, that's brilliant. Thank you. Right, who was next? Who was Chantel?
Hello, Billy.
Hello, Chantel.
I just wanted to say, mainly on behalf of the lady who just asked about the blood pressure, that my blood pressure has been high for about 4 years. And for the first time in 4 years after wearing the patches for a month, my blood pressure is normal.
Thank you. Thank you, Chantel.
Wow, that's excellent.
Yeah, and I've also had high blood pressure, but most probably for about 20 years. Okay, very high. I've even got a little monitor here that I was taking it every day. I can't even remember how to open it. Oh, here we are. Okay, here it is. Okay. And I went to the doctor, and he actually, I'll just tell you mine quickly. So I must go and put that away now. But my blood pressure was like really scary. Okay, right off the top, that thing used to go red like a real traffic light. Anyway, to go long story short, I went to the doctor. I went on a cruise about 2 months ago. And when I came back, I went just for a checkup and did the blood pressure, put the stethoscope in, and he like looked and said, breathe in, breathe out. And he was like listening again, and he was taking my blood pressure. Said, hang on a second. He went and he hung it up behind the door. He went and got another stethoscope, and he did it again. And he said, geez, your blood pressure's dropped like hell. I wonder, we haven't changed your medication or anything. I said, I know. He said, we've got to start taking off some of this stuff. So that's just my one quickly. But anyway, sorry, anybody else? Sorry?
That's wonderful, Billy. Well done.
No, thank you. Thanks, Chantel. Okay, anybody else with any others testimonials?
Billy, I've got one.
Yes, please, Carol.
One of our people, they started taking it, they had a sore elbow, and a sore shoulder, and she couldn't even lift it up. And within a couple of days, I saw her yesterday. She said, look what I can do. And now she says she's looking for sick people so that she can put patches in there. Yeah. And that's the X39.
Okay, perfect. I mean, there's lots. It's now actually spreading. We've got people like Chantel's from the UK. We've got one or two here from Australia, the States, Canada, South Africa, obviously. But New Zealand. Thank you, New Zealand. Yeah, so it's virtually going all over now. But the one guy that I got hold of, and his sister's husband had COVID, and he had a terrible brain fog. He used to come home and just get out the car and leave it running in the driveway. And then she'd walk out later that night to take the dogs for a walk and find the car running. And then also a few other things. But that stopped it within like 3 days of putting the X39 on. And also for 25 years, he couldn't lift his left arm up because of a shoulder cup rotation or whatever it was. In 3 days, he's now stretching to top kitchen cupboards, taking out pots, pans, and everything. So, and I've known him most probably for about 35 years. And for the last 25 years, as I say, He could never lift up his left hand. Or his left hand. Okay. Sorry, anybody else? Any other from anybody?
I think it's just worth to mention as well, and it's become common now, so you tend to forget to discuss it. But I found a lot of the ladies now using the X39 for their nail strength, the strength in the nail, and your hair obviously starts going back to its natural color. I mean, I've never been this dark. I don't know, I would say in the past 15 years, and all of a sudden now I'm starting to go dark haired again. You know, I only got the grays on the side, and that's starting to go as well. So it definitely helps with hair growth and your nails. So the ladies that have got, we heard, I think it was Vina that mentioned the thyroid. If I could just say the X39 with the carnosine, it definitely clears up your thyroid completely. It gets rid of all those radicals.
Thank you, Yanni. Well, I mean, just on my side as well, I mean, we went on this, we were away for 3 weeks on a cruise to the Caribbean and Bahamas. And on those cruise liners, there's food 24/7. There's crayfish, lobster, there's everything that you can think of. You can eat all day long and whatever. And I thought, oh boy, I know I'm going to put on weight now. But I actually lost 6 kilos when you started this. I'm down 6 kilos, and I see I lost another kilo last week. So it's from that X39 that seems to be working. And
yeah,
and I had a look at a photograph 25 years ago, 1998. Sorry, yeah, I think it was 1998, about 25 years ago. I did a thing with Kingsley Holgate, circumnavigating the Makharikari salt bones with Kero. There we go, Kero. And that was about 25 years ago, hey, Kero?
Yeah, it was.
So I saw a photograph, and I've got more hair now. I don't have much, but I've got more now than what I did have 25 years ago, and it's slightly darker now than what it was 25 years ago. I mean, so that's also, and then my nails I'm cutting like twice a week now. But anyway, maybe I'm a lady. Who knows? Okay, guys. Anybody else for any other testimonials?
Lydia's normally got a very good one though.
Who's that?
Lydia.
Lydia. Okay, Lydia.
With the
He
back.
needs to pick on me.
Yeah, I want to pick on you.
You missed my meeting today, that's why.
Okay, go for it, Lydia.
Hi guys, hope you're all well. So my story is basically about scoliosis with my spine. I was diagnosed with scoliosis at the age of 13, and I started suffering with chronic pain about 12 years ago, and I had to basically be on anti-inflammatories most of the time. So I did get to a point where the inflammation was so bad, between basically going to chiropractors, I've seen surgeons, been told I should operate, then I was told I shouldn't. But anyway, to cut a long story short, I was basically between 1 and 2 anti-inflammatories per day, just to cope with the pain. And when Bill introduced the X39 to us, I immediately took onto it. I ordered it, and I started using it immediately. And I found that within 3 days, my pain was like literally gone. I know that, look, it obviously works different with just about everybody. But I guess that with me, that was the biggest problem I've got. So I saw it immediately. And I think to basically, I don't want to lie, but I think I've had in the last 5 months, I've probably taken 2 anti-inflammatories. So, and that's more when I have a flare up. And I get the occasional flare up, and flare ups, I would say the pain would probably be about a 3 in comparison to what I had, which was between an 8 and a 9 when I had flare ups. So that's basically my story with my back. Other things that I have noticed is that I do have a lot of energy. I'll just mention this. I'll take the example that last night I think I must have had maybe 3 hours sleep. I've been on the run most of the day. I do real estate, so I've had a couple of appointments, and I'm still going. And I'm here for the Zoom. So yeah, you know, I think that you can't deny what this patch actually does to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Lydia. You know, as well, with this, I don't know, my skin was very, very itchy, and I've had it for at least 3 years. And I've been to lots of different doctors and dermatologists, and they give me creams and lotions and potions and tablets and everything, and it's terrible. It's so itchy, and every time I can't walk past the corner in a house, and I scratch against it like a black rhino against a tree, like a rubbing post, you know, and they just couldn't get rid of it. And I've got the Nevada patch, and I put that on also about, well, 2 days actually. And I'm not itchy at all anymore. And it was my arms, my legs, my body, my back, everything. So that's gone away. And as I say, but I know most of you have heard it, I used to race motocross. My left knee was really crunched badly, that I limped my whole life. Everybody that knows me from up until about 6 months ago, I always had a limp. I couldn't straighten my left leg. I couldn't bend it properly. I couldn't go up and down stairs. I could go upstairs if there was a balustrade to pull on, but I couldn't go down the stairs. Anyway, I put an X39 just on my knee. Okay, with me, it worked within 1 day. Okay, and it's perfect now. I can bend it, I can straighten it, and I've got no limp. And then also, anyway, my back had also sorted out within 3 days. Anyway, that's enough from my side. Anybody else want to give any testimonials? Okay, then what I'm going to say is that we've got a business section to this. It'll only take about 10 minutes. So any of you that are interested in the business side, if you wanted to run this as a distributor to make an additional income, it's not a full-time business. So in other words, you continue doing what you're doing in your current business. This is just basically takes, I'd say, half an hour to an hour a week, just by inviting people to Zoom like we did with you. And the commissions are really very, very lucrative. So if it wants to stay, by all means, you're more than welcome to stay on. But if you'd rather leave and just be a customer with us and buy the patches, by all means, that's also, there's 2 sections of it. One is a customer to buy it and use it yourself. And the other is by sharing the product with your friends and family and neighbors. Okay, so sorry, Paul, I saw the message here from you. Okay, right, thanks, Paul. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead with this. If you want to pop off, I fully understand. As a customer, if you want to be selfish and not share this, by all means, otherwise just help yourself. Okay, right, so I'm just going to go into this quickly. There's, oops, hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to get my screen up here. There are 2 sides to this, basically. Well, there's actually 4 ways of earning income and quite a large income. So once you join, you either come in as a silver, a gold, a platinum, or a diamond, okay? And that gives you enough of the product. On a silver, you get 3 patches. I'm not even going to talk about the customer side of it, because those of you that are interested in the business side, this is, so you start off as a silver, which is $300. You get 3 sleeves. There's 30 patches in each one, okay? That's if you go for the X39. With that, you have 2 legs, a left and a right, and it's called a binary system. And basically, in a nutshell, everybody that, like, I can only put 2 people in, one on my left, one on my right. Everybody's got to fall underneath them, and everybody above me, and there's thousands above me. I mean, Onyx Cole has been going for about 3 years now. She's got over 100,000 people in her team, which we're part of that team. And there's Steve and Gina Merritt that started about 6 months ago. We're part of their team as well. So we get what they call spillover, and whoever joins in and they buy products and they're on the binary system, we get paid a commission all the way up to unlimited levels. So it doesn't matter if they're 10 levels down, 100 levels down, 5,000 or 100,000 levels down. As soon as they cycle, we all get paid all the way up. I'm not going to go into detail because it's quite complex, but it's a hang of a lot of money. They do, however, cap you to a maximum earning of 25,000 US dollars per week. Okay, so you can earn maximum on the binary system $100,000 per week, which is about 1.7 million rands a month at this stage. Okay, with the exchange rate. So that's not too bad. That's the one thing. And we can see, I know the people that are in there, and I know the people that are actually earning quite a large sum out of this. So, and the other side, you get what they call a matching bonus. Now, that's where really the very, very big money is. So, on the matching bonus, whoever you introduce, and I'm going to explain this to you now. So, I'm going to just close this down and do a screen share here quickly. Sorry, I'm just going to get that up there. Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Not? Okay.
No.
Just hold on a second. Okay. I'm just sorry, guys. I'm just getting this. Okay, here we've got it here. Damn it. So we got the wrong one. Just discuss something amongst yourselves in the meantime, guys. I'm being a bit of an idiot here. I can't find it. Can't find this thing. Yanni, do you want to just chat in the meantime about whatever while I get this? Because I really want to find it, but I had it updated by mistake.
I've got a question for Kara, though. Or
Yeah.
Anne, one of the two. I'm sure somebody will help me.
Thank you.
I've got a client that was registered. Okay. Now I need to change that client's name because he wants the patches that he wants to purchase. Now he wants to purchase through the company's name. Okay. But also it must now be delivered to his accounts manager. So I need to change the name and insert the company's name. Is that possible?
Yeah, you'll have to, there's a form that you download in your back office.
Yes.
You then have to send it through to support, and you will have to get his ID, a copy of his ID, a copy of the company ID or company registration number or whatever it is, and send that to support.
Okay.
It will take a while.
I was going to phone them after the Zoom, but I just thought there was a shorter way of doing it because I would assume.
Yeah, no, there isn't. You've got to get all those documents and everything. I know because I've had someone who didn't want to do it anymore, and I've got someone to go in their place. So it's been quite a sort of a thing. But I'm sure it'll be easier if it's his business and he's now going to do it through the business because
Yeah.
it's his own business.
Yeah, because he bought previously, but now he doesn't want on his name. So he wants an invoice now with LifeWave in order for his accountants and them to pay. So then he pays it through the company. So that's what he wants us. So I want to change the company. You can add that in. I can see that's possible. You just have to speak to the service department. But if I want to change the name, it seems a bit more complicated than just an easy swap out.
Yeah, you can't personally change the name. That has to be done through support. Yeah. So they will do all that. So all he has to do is send the fill in that form. I sent one in the other day. Let me just see where it is.
Okay, sorry, Kara, can I let you and Yanni deal with that?
Yes.
I found this. Okay, thank you. Thanks, Yanni. Thanks, guys. Okay,
now we chop suey. Now it's fine. Okay, now we just
yeah, that's chop suey. There we go. Okay, here's the calculator. Okay, so basically, this is, as I said, the one side is the binary system, which is to unlimited depth. Doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 100, 200, 300,000 down below, and it's going around the world at a great speed. So that you get paid on, but it is capped at $25,000 per week, which is $100,000 a month. This is the second level. Remember, there's 4 ways to earn. This is the second level. This, to me, is the biggest one. So if, for instance, you only introduced 4 people, okay, and you introduced 4 people, those 4 people introduced 2 people each, and then that would be 8. 4 times 2 is 8. And those 8 introduced 2 people, that's 16. That's all. 16 people, 3 levels. That's all. Doesn't go further than that. And let's just say over a period of time, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, they earn on average, and I know this is a very thumb-suck figure, but anything from whatever to whatever, but let's just say they average $1,000 per month each, okay? So you click on calculate, and if the US, let me see what the actual rate is at the moment today. Today it is sitting at 17.1. So let's just say, leave it at 17. So that means that on your first level, because you get 25% of whoever you introduced, they will still earn this. The company will give you 25% to say, thank you for introducing Joe Brooks. Then Joe introduces, as I say, another 2 people each. So that's $1,600. And then they introduce 2 people each. That's $3,200. So that comes to a total of $5,800 a month on the second stream of income. So you've already earned you're earning your first on the binary. Now this is over and above that in addition to that. So at 17 to 1, it works out to 98,600 Rand a month. If, for instance, you did the exchange rate went to 18 like it was a little while ago, about 2 weeks ago, it will now come up to 104,000 Rand per month. So it's dependent on the exchange rate. I mean, you can do this calculation yourself. It's very simple. You can just say you have 4 people on your first level, and you can put in whatever figures. Let's just say they also introduced 4 people, and let's just keep it at 1,000. Then you're looking at 300,000 Rands a month, which is $17,000 a month. So those are just figures you can play with, but please always just keep it very, very conservative and keep the figures low. I mean, even if you chop this down to say $500, and if you said these were 4, then you're looking at about 153,000 Rand a month, which is $8,500. Sorry, that was at 18. Let's go to 17, like it is. There we go, 144,000 Rand a month. So, but you can do what you like with the figures. So it depends on how many introduced there. Okay, guys, from my side, that's all I've got. Is there any questions on the commissions or anything from your side? That it? Okay, please get back to the person that invited you, and appreciate it. And we've got our own business cards as well, electronic business cards. So if you want to, just ask the person to send you theirs. And on the electronic business card, it's got everything, all the website, the testimonials, the whole shooting match. Yes, Lee.
Always one question I want to ask you. Do you have a price list of the product? So in other words, because now what I've gathered, where you've got all different ailments.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it, I've got them all.
Okay.
Okay, but now I would like to know, is there a specific price list per product that you,
Yes.
I mean, it's like Yanni's mentioned all the products off the top of his head. And a price list, how much is it and how you go again about ordering? Because I'm keen to market it, but I would like to try it myself first. You know, I always
Yes.
believe, let me try it first. If I believe in the product, then I'm able to market it.
Lee, to be honest with you, I think everybody on here has said the exact same thing and said they want to try it themselves first. They don't want to go into it as a business, okay? But you're not asking anybody to leave what they're doing. So I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but they want to try it themselves. And everybody's tried it. They were so impressed with it that they actually said, okay, let me see if I can turn this into a bit of a business. So, as I say,
And then the one lady mentioned the samples.
yes,
Do they do, you know, how do you get so? Because obviously, I mean, I've got a lot of friends that have got ailments. I mean, we all know, we're all at that age where we're so suffering hormones and we hyperventilating and we're doing all this weird and wonderful. All of a sudden, you've got cholesterol and we're at that age. Okay, now, obviously, you know, I would like to try it. And then I can say to a friend, look, here's a sample, try it out, see what you think. Because then because obviously, I think, am I correct to understand it is, you're obviously building your downline. But then do you also get commission when you sell the product?
Yes, yes. Okay. So, right. So I'm gonna show you this quickly. You can see my screen, okay? Oh, and then Lee, with the samples, what the best way is and what's fantastic. If you come in as a customer, okay, in other words, you want it for your own use, you've got 90 days. If you're not happy, you send it back and you get your money back. 100% guarantee, but you will not get back the VAT, which is 15% in South Africa, and you will not get the delivery, the shipping fee, which, what is it, about $125?
Yeah, it's $7.50.
$7.50. Yeah.
Okay, what does that work out to? Roughly
130, I think it was, depending on the price.
okay, okay.
And what's the average price of the product in rands?
Okay, so I'm gonna do, you see my screen here, okay? So
I actually don't know. Yes, I see it.
So, okay, so whoever's introduced you, you'll see their name at the top when they send you the link, and you click on join.
Okay.
Now, if you come in and you want to be a distributor, which I'd highly recommend, okay? So don't.
You want to, sorry, say that again?
If you want to make a business out of it, okay, Lee, which I know you would if you decided to. So don't worry about these first two. Those are for customers, okay? So if you you start at least at a silver, okay?
Okay.
You can always upgrade and you only pay the difference. So let's just say you decide to come into the silver, it's $300, and then you decide next month, oh, this is really lucky, I want to get a better rate, I want to buy it slightly cheaper, and I want to open up more levels of earning commission. Then you can upgrade to a gold, a platinum, or a diamond. Let's just say you want to upgrade to a gold, okay? So it goes from $300 to $500. So you don't pay $500 again. All you do is you pay the difference. So you come into the silver, $300. You want to upgrade, you only pay $200 and you're gold. Okay?
Sorry, is that per month or?
No, once off.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. With that, tell me which one to look at, and then I'll show you exactly how it works.
So I'm backing to see the screen. It's actually very small. Or is it just my computer?
Just your computer.
Okay, let me just
click on Zoom or enlarge. Yeah.
Bill, sorry to interrupt you. I've got to run.
Okay.
But what I was going to say, if Lee wants to, she can just contact me. I'll come sit down and explain the whole thing to her in proper.
Perfect.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Thank you, Yanni.
Guys, keep on, look after yourselves. Be awesome.
Thanks. You too. All the best. Thank you for your help tonight. Thank you.
Catch you, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Cheers, Yanni.
Cheers. Sorry, Lee, which one did you say?
Okay, so all right. So let's say when you suggest the silver,
Yeah,
okay?
good minimum to start off on. You always upgrade. So it costs you $300, $300 plus
Yeah.
50% VAT plus delivery. Okay. So did somebody come back with a price on delivery roughly?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
127 rand.
127 rand. Okay, thank you. Right. So
Okay, and then so your silver would cost you
About
no.
5,700.
yes. Okay. With that, they say down here 6 sleeves, but Lee will only, if you take X39, which I highly recommend you do, you're only going to get 3 sleeves, okay? But in the sleeve, you've got 30 patches. It should last you 30 days. You put one on in the morning, like I put mine on 7 in the morning, I take it off at 7 at night. And I say, throw it away. But what I actually do is I've got these inside here. These are second hand. So I go down to the dog beach and I see a dog limping or battling to walk or old or whatever, like a blind one the other day, and I just give the people these patches for their dogs. Okay. And then obviously starts a conversation, and so it works. But okay, so you get say 3 sleeves. Most of us use it twice. So I'll put a new one on here today, and then the old one from yesterday I'll put below my belly button. Okay. That's just me. I do that. Other people throw it away, and then from my belly button it goes to the dogs. Okay, excuse the saying. But anyway, so that's basically it.
Listen, don't talk about your wife like that, eh?
No, she gets it after the dog. I shouldn't say that. Okay.
I know we're joking.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what happens, and it's just the X39, as I say, does about 95% of everything in your body, and that's it. And then with the patches, is that you've got 3 sleeves, so it should be 3 months supply, but really you can use it for 6 months, and it's actually way cheaper than any medicine. Doesn't harm your body, doesn't damage your body, or anything like that. So I mean, it's just an absolute no-brainer. And all of a sudden, people say, "Gee, but Lee, you're looking better. You're looking younger. Your skin's looking better. Your
Does
hair."
it sort out my wrinkles?
Yeah, it does. I promise you.
I'm joking.
Yeah, it does. It does, Lee. It does.
Can't you see? No more wrinkles.
Who's that?
That's
That's
Kara.
Kara.
You see, you couldn't
No,
even
definitely.
recognize it without her wrinkles.
But
Okay.
also, Bill, you were asking about where do these samples come from. So
Yeah.
when you get the extra, there's that picture. But when you get so you've got 3 3 sleeves of X39. Now,
Yes.
of those, you're going to give 2 or 3 patches to people to try.
Yes.
And what I normally say is, if I give them 2 or 3, you can actually use the patch 2 or 3 times. You might have to use a micropore or whatever, so that they've got at least 9 days worth of patches. Okay. And that's the way that's how you give out samples. Now, obviously, Bill was over in Canada and couldn't send me a sample, but I'd been looking at light therapy for nearly 20 years trying to find something. And this was sold immediately. Yeah. Without even trying.
And
But here he's got, this is this woman. You go, Bill?
Yeah. Sorry. So this is Vincent.
Sorry, Bill, just stop. So in the pack, you get how many X39s that you say are very good?
You get 3 sleeves. Okay. So this is a sleeve. Let me get mine.
Yeah.
So this is a sleeve here. Okay. It's an envelope, and in there's 30 patches like this. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to use one day and throw it away, but you can use it once and then again tomorrow, whatever. Yeah. Okay. So we've got all of these inside the sleeve. So you get 3 of these, which is 90 patches, which theoretically should be for 90 days, but you could most probably push it to 180 days. Okay. I shouldn't tell you that, but I'm just saying that's what we do. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got a 6-month supply for $300, which is nothing really. And it sorts out everything. You might not see, you might have a sore elbow and say, but I've been wearing it for 2 weeks and my elbow is still buggered. I mean, not working that well. But what it does is that it sorts everything else that's more important in your body that you may not know about. It could be your liver, it could be your heart, it could be your kidneys, it could be whatever it is. It sorts that out, the most important things. Your stem cells will know where to go to sort what out. Because as they say, when you get to about 30, you've lost half. When you've got to 60, you've lost the other half. So if you're nearly 60, you've got 2 stem cells left. The one's waving goodbye to the other one. Yeah. Okay, so it's sort of, I mean, if you think about it, it's like going to the root of the problem. The stem cells, it's never mind about the hair going grey or the wrinkles coming up or the sore back or sore ankle or high blood pressure or high cholesterol. It's all that it is. There aren't any stem cells there to sort it out. So by doing this, it reactivates your own stem cells. Okay? And that's it. It's simple and easy. Sorry, by the way, Vincent knows this lady, and he normally does the Zoom on a Wednesday. And this is what she was like on day 1, day 42, day 355. And this was, I can't remember how much later, about 1.5 years later. He says, you should see her now. 2 years later, I think she's gone to primary school.
But now if I don't look like that, can I get my money back?
Oh, yes, you can.
Only
Okay.
after
I'm
30
joking.
days.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
joking.
okay, so
I'm joking.
no, seriously, Lee. So what you do is, let's just say you order the silver. So you get 3 sleeves, okay? Diarize on your phone, in your diary, wherever, that within 30 days, as market say day 25, 27 or whatever, if you're not 100% happy, you say to them, I want my money back. I've used the patches, I've given them away, I've flushed them down the toilet, the dog ate them or whatever, and they will refund you 100% apart from your VAT and your delivery. That's all that you'll lose. So to me, I'm saying get the biggest, either go silver or gold or even diamond, okay? Because then you've got a lot of patches and you decide to change your mind, you've got a fortune of stock there.
Yeah, I know. Obviously, your skin takes at least 3 to 6 months to start really showing a difference.
Yeah,
I know.
and your heart takes six months and it reverses 8 years.
Okay.
But what I liked about what Dr. Stasi said, because funny enough, that was a question I was going to ask, is that, once you've activated or like say the heart muscle, if it's now fixed, she said it's fixed. I mean, that is phenomenal, and then, but once you've activated your stem cells, say, and then you stop after, say, 6 months, surely after a year or so, they might start deactivating if you weren't on them.
Yeah, I'm sure that they will start the natural process of going away again slowly. That's why I say, if you're 50, you need to go be on the system, on it for 5 months at least. If you're 66 months, if you're 77 months, and so on, to get full body replacement of whatever needs to be replaced and regeneration.
Yeah, now that I didn't know. I hadn't heard that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was on her video.
Yeah, it was on her video, Dr. Stasi.
Yes, no, I haven't seen any of those. So, yeah. It's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill.
Thank
I will
you.
get in touch with you. Perfect.
And then don't speak about it too much with EXP if you don't mind, because I don't, it's just, it's over and above, and it's not, it won't distract.
Listen, yeah, I understand. You're trying to make money and a living. We all do. Yeah. And also you're trying to, and share the products. I understand. I know nothing.
Okay, good. Okay. So it's just, I promise you, and don't try and sell it. It's the worst thing. If you got a person, I did that in the beginning, I was trying to sell them and tell them all about it like that. Don't. Just invite them to the Zoom, okay? And let the Zoom do the work. That's all. Like I did with you. Remember, I said, hey, Lee, there's something like really good. I think we're on something big here.
That's exactly how you started it in the first place. With
Exactly.
EXP as well. You make me laugh. I knew. I saw Yanni was marketing it, and there's that snail gel for under your skin, and there's all these weird and wonderful products.
Yeah.
But look, I'm going to try the product, Bill, and then I'm going to take it from there, because then, like I said, I mean, especially with all the ladies, we're all talking hormones and all this crap now.
Yeah.
So I can share and get them to go, but I'd like to try it myself first.
You must try it yourself first so that you can speak with confidence. Otherwise,
that's me. I've always been like that. I like facts, and it's proven until they say, and they'll say to me, "Oh, you're looking good. What you using?" And then I'll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you've got your classroom at home that you can do your presentations there. There's nobody that I know of yet in South Africa that's doing I call it like the Tupperware presentations, where you invite about 5 or 6 ladies or 10 or whatever to your home, and you do the presentation there, and then you say to them, okay, whoever can arrange a presentation at their home within the next week or two, I'll give them X amount of patches. And boy, believe me, they'll just find 4 over here, 5 over there, 10 over there, and you'll build your business up. It's out of control.
Well, let's see. But thank you, Bill. Thanks for inviting me. You have a wonderful rest of the evening.